I did.
Not yet. But you will be, unless you come with us.
Hola, Richard, ¿cómo estás? How are you?
Good, and you?
I'm excellent. I'm so happy to talk to you. The show is amazing, and your appearance on the show was just the cherry on top.
Thank you very much.
I'm
sorry I look so miserable in that picture next to you.
It's a great poster, though.
Good.
And let me ask you, how did this collaboration happen? How did they approach you to be Loki?
I had known Tom Hiddleston for some years, and we'd always joked about working together because we have similar hairlines and long faces. So when I got asked to do this episode, I thought, oh, it must be because of that. It was our physical similarities in our faces. So I didn't argue, I didn't ask, just accepted it and parachuted in, as it were, into the 5th episode. So that's how it happened. Kate Herron, the director, chose me.
That's awesome. We're so lucky. We're so lucky. And did you ever think about joining the MCU before this?
I was in Logan. I was in Logan, so I'd had a taster of it, but I'd never been in a superhero costume, albeit without the muscles, as I am in this. So this was my first time.
What is this place? Where are we? Who are you?
This is the Void, that's Goliath, and we're his lunch. Come on!
And speaking of the costume, you have a beautiful tweet about your father.
Yeah.
Telling you that if you really wanted to do this when you grow up and be on makeup and tights your entire life, actually, I have the picture. So, how did it feel when you were on the costume?
Well, the costume designer had originally shown me a drawing with my head on it that had muscles. So I thought, right, when I get there, I'm going to have a muscle suit. And of course, as you can see, I didn't have to have a muscle suit. I said, well, how am I going to fight Asgard if I've got no muscles? She said, it's magic. You're using Loki magic. And I said, come on, give me the muscles. But they wouldn't. So I was very, very disappointed. And I felt that I would have liked to have had more power from having, a muscle suit. But anyway, they didn't give me that. But it was an amazing feeling to have this. And it did make me laugh because my father did, tongue in cheek, he said to me before he died when he was 53 years old, he said, do you really think you can make a living and be happy in a life where you have to wear makeup and tights? And I said, you don't have to wear that much makeup and you hardly ever have to wear tights. So here I am talking to you, Jovanny, and I've got makeup and tights on. So what can I say? He was right.
The costume with the most tights that you can have is the one that everybody is going crazy about.
Yeah.
You also compare it to Kermit.
Absolutely right.
And I cannot unsee it now.
Yeah, you can't unsee it once you've seen it. Now you see, if they give me muscles, because like me, Kermit has no muscles, they would not have been made that comparison. But it stands now.
I think that you look handsome and beautiful, and it is just perfect.
I'd like to suggest we take a quick breather so I can ask several thousand questions.
Tom, gotta keep moving so we don't die.
I can get behind that, but what's your plan?
Don't die.
Okay, understood, but beyond that...
Don't die!
Don't die isn't the plan. It's a general demand of living. If you're Lokis, you should always have a plan. Will someone please explain to me what the hell is going on?
Let me ask you, you said that you know Tom Hiddleston before.
Yeah.
Did he give you any tips about being Loki?
Yeah, he was amazing because I'd obviously followed his career and seen every movie that he'd done of Loki. And he has such an encyclopedic knowledge of all things Loki that it was, if you had any questions about anything, you just had to ask Tom. And he had all the information at his fingertips. So he was the real walking, talking inspiration at all times.
So he knows his thing.
Yeah.
So, after I vanquished Captain America and Iron Man, I claimed my prize. All 6 Infinity Stones.
That's alligator for growling and saying liar at the same time.
All these Lokis are a little different from each other. How do you want to make your Loki different?
Well, I knew that I was the oldest person in the studio, and older than all of the other actors. And the other thing that he says in a speech where he's talking about how he was arrested by the TVA, that he described himself as, rather than as the god of mischief, that he was the god of outcasts. And I thought that was the key into how lonely this man really is. And that it's his longing to see his brother that is what betrays him, and that he's then arrested by the TVA. And this need for human connection, especially for somebody who is capable of defeating death time and again, that the penalty of that is that you lead a lonely life. And I thought that was the key to what this version of Loki could be, that wasn't trying to compete with the mischief that is absolutely embedded in Tom Hiddleston's portrayal.
Oh, that's beautiful. And can I ask you about your other Loki friends, Boastful Loki, Alligator Loki, and Kid Loki? How was it to hang out with them and have that gang of Lokis?
I loved Alligator Loki because Classic Loki is the one person that can understand what he's thinking and saying. I love that, like Dr. Dolittle. And I think it was 3 stuffed cushions all sewn together to look like an alligator. That's what we had to work with. So I've seen the stills of what they've done with the horns and the alligator. It looks absolutely amazing. We did not have that to work with, believe me.
And speaking of special effects, on the last episode, we saw you building Asgard out of nothing. And I can only imagine what you were doing in the green screen versus what you saw on screen. How's that experience for you to see the special effects after you're just like, ah?
I've seen the stills. I haven't seen it, but it was an amazing experience to have these huge aeroplane-sized wind machines. I think they had 4 of them, all blowing and trying to shout above the noise, and then being told to follow this camera movement that was going on all across the roof of the studio of where Asgard was supposed to be, breathing his fire and mayhem at me. So it was very enjoyable to do that.
How did the TVA find you?
I got lonely. To tell you the truth, I missed my brother.
And the show is about time traveling and about trying to change or correct the mistakes that you have done to become someone different. What did you, in the episode that you were, what did you learn about time traveling, and would you ever want to do it?
I would love to time travel. I think that is one of the key things that is what makes this whole Marvel universe so attractive and hypnotic, and makes people invest so much in it, because who wouldn't like to be able to travel forward or backwards in time? It's the dream and the fantasy, and we all know that it's not possible. So, that's what makes it so attractive.
Do you know where would you like to go?
Oh yes, I'd like to go one day back to Elizabethan England to meet William Shakespeare, just to see what he was actually like. And I'd also like to go into the future so that I was able to take a spaceship to go somewhere to another planet. It's been my boyhood dream.
And I do have a fun question for you. If one of your characters from your movies was a variant, which one would it be?
Which one would it be? Probably General Pride in Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker. Luke
It would be
Skywalker.
a variant.
Yeah, he'd be a variant. So he could come back.
We lie and we cheat. We cut the throats of every person who trusts us. And for what? Power. Glorious power. Glorious purpose. Cannot change. We're broken. every version of us forever.
And can I ask you, were you expecting the fan reaction that you're having, everybody? Because everybody loves Loki, but now we have more Loki and everybody's like going crazy for you. Everybody's on the internet is like, this is what we wanted, yes.
I'm astonished, absolutely astonished, because Tom Hiddleston said to me on the first day, he said, when he saw me in costume for the first time, he said, you know, people are going to go crazy for this. And I went, yeah. I thought he was just trying to, make me feel confident on the first day because I was standing there in my Kermit tights. And he said, no, when this comes out, you will see. And I didn't really believe him. But I have been amazed and delighted by the response that has been so, from my understanding of it, so positive. So I'm very grateful.
Thank you so much, Richard. It's an honor to talk to you. And
okay, thank you, Jovanny.
have a nice afternoon. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.